Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
I just got done watching Listen to Your Heart, which really put me in like a wild headspace, I think.
That show is insane.
It's the only thing I care about. It's what I wanted Too Hot to Handle to be, but it was a coward.
Whoa. Hot
Too
takes.
Hot to Handle was a trash show.
What?
It was so poorly produced.
Oh, for sure.
It was awful. And The Bachelor actually has like awful producers, and so they know how to get drama.
Right.
And oh my god. So we just got done watching Listen to Your Heart, and Chris and I like quote unquote drink, like I drink water, but every time that they say listen to your heart, we drink. And oh boy, did they really say it so much.
Yeah. If you want an expert level or a hard level, you can also add a drink whenever they reference the film A Star is Born. And if you do play with those rules, you will die. You will die.
You will die.
Alcohol poisoning, you'll die. The first episode, in the first like 5 minutes, it's brought up like 6 times.
The amount of times that they're like, I want a relationship like A Star is Born. I really want someone to corrupt me and not want a success for me.
Right, like, did y'all see that movie? Did you see
any version of A Star is Born?
Name me one person who watches that and I'm like, you know what? Artist and artist relationships, always healthy and always super great and aspirational.
Yep.
And I want that to be me.
I really want a relationship where my partner pushes a donut into my face because they're so fucked up.
Yeah.
And so jealous for my
and
success.
Ruins my one night at the Grammys.
Yeah, because they have a substance disorder. Like,
yeah.
Come
on.
That is what relationships look like to me.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, as much as I give them shit, that's basically all that we read about here, so...
Listen,
you know,
fair enough.
Welcome to Into A Star is Born. You know?
Everyone's favorite podcast about A Star is Born. We watch all of them.
Every week.
Yeah, we have a little marathon every week.
It's really exhausting.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's not worth it.
It's not. And neither is Listen to Your Heart, honestly, but I watch it every week because I'm now, unfortunately, hooked on Bachelor products. And
yeah, welcome.
It brings me joy in this joyless time.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah. But anyways, hi, welcome to Into the Twilight.
Hello.
Cody, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Goddamn. Proud of you.
One of the things I've been getting into with all of this happening is, like, watching more, like, streams.
Ooh.
Like, putting stuff in the background of, like, people playing, like, Animal Crossing or games or just, like, chatting or whatever. It's been good, like, background noise. So I popped onto twitch.tv today just to see if anything fun was happening. Not Spawn. Absolutely not. But if they want, for sure. But I was like, what's going on? And who do I see but a familiar face to you and I? American hero Brendan Urie.
I love him so much.
Just playing Assassin's Creed.
No
on
technology.
A Wednesday, no technology, no cell phone in sight. There were a lot of colorful string lights. I did not click on it because I didn't want my computer to be cursed for 4 years. But it was a trip and a half for sure to witness.
How could you tell me this and then not give me a minute-by-minute recap of that?
Listen, you're right. I will say I did take a photo of the title of of his stream, which I don't even know if I can really pronounce. It's nonsense. It is Y apostrophe BEAUF, and then you know it. Y apostrophe know it.
Oh.
So take that as you will.
I will hold it.
Yeah. I would treasure it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, in case you're wondering what Brendan Urie was up to in the Newtons, now you know.
I've always been convinced that the reason why we have that audio of him naming the Teletubbies was from a Twitch stream. Is that wrong? Is it from like an Instagram Live or something?
I have no idea.
That has always just been my headcanon until I've been proven otherwise.
Sure, and you're right.
Then that has always been my truth, is that I'm right until proven otherwever.
Yeah.
So, damn,
Yeah, what's up? How are you?
Oh,
Okay, never mind.
thank you. I'm fine. Just fine. I mean, listen, I will say that, like, we are here I'll just give you a little bit of a weather update here in my neck of the woods.
Thank you.
My little Al Roker corner that I know you all are so interested in, because it means a lot to you about, like, a Seattle weather update. But it has been, like, unseasonably dry and sunny here in Seattle, which for a lot of you, you're like, why are you complaining? It rains a lot here. Like, shut up. However, that means that the pollen here has been a lot.
Yeah.
So today we are getting rain, which is nice because that means that, like, bye pollen, you nasty bitch. However, it is dark again, and it hasn't been dark and stormy in a while, and all I want to do is just, like, be one with my feelings.
Okay.
Which,
yeah.
after last week of us just thinking about, like, Bella's spinning chair is, like, not necessarily the best thing.
Sure. Yeah.
For the emotions. So it has taken so much effort today to, like, do work things and not just stay in my bed and one sleep or two sleep and also play Animal Crossing. So I'm living. Am I alive? I don't know, but I'm living. I guess is where I'm at. But it's cozy. It's raining. It's chilling. So I'm here. I'm all right.
Yeah. Look at you.
Yeah.
Taking that rain.
I'm taking it. But I will say that the happy thing that I'm bringing this week is unsurprisingly another Animal Crossing thing. And it has been all of the KK Slider redraws that have been happening on Twitter.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so powerful, and it means a lot to me.
I want them all in my physical home. I want them framed.
I do too.
They're masterpieces. I want it on vinyl.
I love them, and it means a lot to me. I think, as mentioned so much on a podcast that is not about Animal Crossing, I think it has been clear how much this game has been bringing us joy in the time of Newtons. But I think that, in particular, this redraw challenge has meant a lot to me. I think that it has been bringing me great joy. The one in particular that I think is relevant to our interests is the one that the user Autumn or Hoodaloos on Twitter made. Hoodaloos! Which is so pure. I love that username.
Yeah.
Which was a redraw of the Twilight soundtrack.
Ugh.
And it's so good. We have it on our Twitter, but it is Tom Nook and KK Slider, where it's, of course, the iconic, like, Edward crouching over Bella, but now it's Tom Nook and fucking KK Slider.
I love KK's just little paw. Just caressing Tom Nook.
And just
the KK slider in the Twilight font goes so hard.
it doesn't have to, but it does.
It's so sick.
I just want, like, that KK slider in the Twilight font, I want it tattooed on me. It means so much. Oh, I love it.
We've threatened a lot of bad tattoos over the course of the show. That, I think, is the best one we've done so far.
That one goes hard. And
that
it
one's
doesn't
good.
need to, but it does.
Yeah.
So I love it. And it's very good. That's one of the good things, I think, right now. There's been a lot of shitty things, I think, on Twitter as of right now.
Yes.
There's always. Like,
right.
always, but
like a lot.
Bless the KK slider redraws. Love that. All right. We have quite a few current events this week.
Woo!
Which, it's been a while since we've had, like, powerful, strong, good news to bring to the space.
News. Some hearty news this week.
It is. And I'm thankful for it. That's for sure. The first one, folks, is a powerful one. So brace yourselves. Do what you need to do to prepare. Because this is a doozy.
Yeah.
This came out on 4/20.
Nice.
4/20. And this was from The Post in Athens. And this was a Q&A with the one and only Catch-A-Boy himself, Jackson Rathbone.
God. It's like, that's my only association with this man now. Besides,
Literally. Every time that I shake a Heinz, like, plastic bottle in my house, and I try to make sure that like, wet juice is incorporated back in.
Jesus.
I think about two very important men that have been influential in my life. One is Ed Sheeran, and the other one, obviously, is Jackson Rathbone. And the juice really reminds me of that.
Yeah. It's so gross.
How you doing?
It's so gross. People listen to this in the morning. Like, people, like, start their days. They wake up. They're like, oh, it's Monday. You know, I'm gonna, like, get ready. It's a new day. It's a new week. I'm feeling great. Put on a little podcast and fucking 9 minutes in talking about ketchup juice.
Come get y'all juice. You know what I mean?
Do not come get ketchup juice. Do you have any... I gotta get out of this hole. Do you have any fun tidbits? Any fun facts you learned about our boy?
I have so many.
Jackson Rathbone.
I have so many. Okay, so this was done incredibly recently. And the why they decided, like, hey, it's the year of our Lord 2020. Let's check in on what fucking Jackson is doing. I, honest to God, have no idea.
Also, the most recent photo they put on here is credited from 2016. Is he dead? Did he just... Did someone else sign this?
No, I just... Honestly, it's so fucked up.
When's the last time we saw Jackson Rathbone? For real, though.
Well, I think that he went to the Forks Twilight Festival semi-recently.
No, fair enough.
I know that was a rhetorical question, but...
But I am on the case.
But I do have one of those little Sherlock hats, so I am down to business.
I'm coming out as a Jackson Rathbone truther.
Stop! Here's the fucked up thing about Jackson Rathbone. He is, like, in it. He wants to talk about, like, this movie that he was working on in Europe, specifically Latvia. And he was like, yes, thank you for asking. I'm doing this movie. And this interviewer, Riley Reynolds, was like, yeah, fuck off. I want to talk about, one, how are you and your family doing?
Yeah.
And he was like, cool. But more importantly, let's talk about your audition for Twilight. Let's talk about why Twilight was influential to you. Let's talk about if you keep in touch with them. Let's talk about your experience with Criminal Minds literally a decade ago. And your music from years ago. So literally nothing recent.
There's not a single question besides this, like, oh, were you working on something before the Newtons happen. No other question about the actual relevant things he's working on.
Nope. None.
This one question's like, what's something that no one would expect? It's like, oh, I don't know, maybe you have a movie coming out? Fucking interviewer? If you fucking did your job instead of wasting 5 questions on a movie that I've done interviews about for decades at this point.
Yeah, I've answered these questions so many times.
In every different conceivable way.
But yeah, you want to talk about the fact that, yeah, I read for Edward originally, and yeah, when I met with Catherine Hardwicke, she was like, I don't know, I think you'll be better for Jasper. Why don't you go ahead and just read the whole book of Eclipse and come back to me with notes? God, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, poor guy.
That this is, like, what he has to do. In, like, I feel like the conversation that happened between his agent and the Post was, yes, we will get you to talk about the new movie that you were doing if and only if you answer these 10 questions about stuff that you did over a decade ago. And he was like, fine. And I feel bad. But yeah. I appreciate the new content, even if it is just rehashing stuff from the past.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you, and I wish that they had a photo on here of his ketchup tattoo. All right, can you take us to New Movie Corner that you introduced me to this week?
Pew, 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 pew. It's time for New Movie Corner. We got new movies. Believe it or not,
are you movies.
Believe it or not, new movies are still happening.
Honestly, it shocked me too.
I don't know how I found out about this movie, but a
dream, probably.
Yeah, some fever dream. But I did find myself on the Letterboxd page for this movie, and I found the most buck-wild cast of all time: Shailene Woodley, Jamie Dornan, Sebastian Stan, Matthew Gray Gubler. All of these people in a single film. And I was like, well, we have to talk about this.
I am so excited.
It's called Endings, Beginnings. And it looks insane.
I've never wanted to watch a movie more in this moment.
Yeah.
Than this. Right now. I want to watch it. Let me watch it.
Literally in this promo photo, Shailene Woodley has the exact same Anastasia Steele haircut.
But honestly, though,
like I could squint and just be like, yeah, that's Dakota Johnson for sure. But it's not.
There's so much about this that I love. Yes. Obviously, the cast.
Impeccable.
Hello.
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 That's just our show. Just an hour of us saying hello and different intonations. But also, okay, so Drake Dormius, I have I have loved this man since he did Like Crazy. Like Crazy is one of my favorite movies of all time ever. Mm-hmm. And it is by no means a perfect movie.
Sure.
It is not. But it is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
So the fact that he is coming out with this movie, that it is another, like, love-hate relationship kind of movie. I'm like, hello? Inject it into my veins. I need it right now.
Yeah.
It's all I want.
Yeah, and I just realized this dude also did Equals, the K-Stew movie.
Yes.
With Nicholas Hoult. So already in our wheelhouse.
It's like he only makes movies for us, and that's fine. Like,
yeah,
that's okay.
Thank you.
That's okay, because I will continue to watch them. So you sent this to me 2 days ago. Time's fake, especially right now.
Yeah.
And all I could do while watching this trailer was I had my hand over my mouth and was just screaming the entire time, because it was just beautiful person after like story that I was very engaged with, and I was like, ooh, I need this right now.
Yeah.
And it comes out like it's technically on digital right now.
Yeah.
But it's on demand in like a week.
So
I need it.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for it, and it is very on brand for us.
Well, it's coming. It's coming.
And I'm very thankful. Speaking of coming, do you want to talk about this next thing?
Yeah, something's not coming. And it's the Batman. It's the Batman.
Yeah. I mean, color me surprised, folks.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
October 2021. I don't think we're ever going to see this movie, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not surprised. It's just, you know.
You know.
Listen. It happens.
But if we want to talk about coming for real, though.
But for real, though,
also on a Robert note, welcome back to Robert Pattinson Corner. Robert Pattinson Watch.
Welcome back to Robert Pattinson Coming Corner. You know what I mean?
Okay. It's a very frequent segment on the pod, believe it or
what
not.
I'm saying.
He does it all the time. Okay, but if you've been on the internet at all lately, you've probably seen that A24 is holding an auction for props from their movies.
Yes.
You know, for charity and all that stuff.
Just for corporate greed.
Just for the fucking billionaires. And one of the beautiful things they're auctioning, obviously, this mermaid.
The mermaid.
The titular mermaid. To which Robert has fucking jerks off to and has rampant fantasies with.
Yes.
In the lighthouse.
The light.
Spoiler alert. And the lantern. The beautiful lantern.
But I am very excited about this because they're giving them, like, all the proceeds are going to a food bank in New York City.
Hell yeah.
I think the food bank of New York City, if I'm not mistaken. One, it's nice to see that they are doing this, but also, can I just say, A24, your website this is obviously like a Squarespace website, yeah? Like,
oh, for sure.
Okay, because it is the hardest thing to look at. Like,
my eyes hurt. The scrolls are fucking buck wild.
Yeah.
Y'all, come on.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I do appreciate, like, what the hell else are they going to do with them other than put them in a museum? So.
Right. Do some good.
Yeah. So. But I appreciate seeing some things from the lighthouse coming out. And some charity things being done with that, especially given the time, which is cool. All right, we have a very important question. This question was provided to me in my DMs, personally.
Like, I know just the right person to ask.
But I respect the curiosity and also the urgency of this, because it came to me in the night, like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I respect that and I appreciate it. So, I will not name the person, but it says, I know it's late, but I have an important question. Is Charlie Swan Republican? Yes or no?
Damn.
I know. And that's it. That's all it says.
Yeah, no, that's plenty. Oh.
And I told them that I would consult the oracles, which was you.
It's me. I am the oracle. And I don't want to say like full Republican because I don't think that's true. I think there is possibility for like a libertarian something in there. He seems like a guy that maybe wouldn't be too happy with like government in general.
I struggled with this one because from what we know about Charlie,
Yeah.
he is born and raised in Forks.
Yes.
That's some real small town energy.
It's true.
And
he's a cop.
And he's a cop, folks. So...
He's a cop.
And so here's the thing is, like, I have to wrestle with, like, what I want Charlie to be versus,
Right.
like, what the text is telling me Charlie
My idea
is.
of Charlie Swan.
So... I think that there are some social issues that he's more lenient on.
Sure. Yeah, he's a supportive guy. He's an
He is
accepting
supportive.
fella.
I think he would... Here's what I think. I think he would be the kind of guy that would be... He would say, like, socially liberal, fiscally conservative.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
remember the, like... He's fine with divorce.
Right.
He's...
Well, I mean, personally, wasn't too great with it. Wasn't too happy about it, but
Wasn't too happy
but
with it.
did
But, like,
do it. Yeah.
But he did it.
Yeah.
He was okay with Bella dating.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Counterpoint does have a gun and loves his gun.
Is a cop and
He's also
does have a gun.
No, but he has a gun at home. He has the shotgun.
That's true. Yeah.
The titular scene with the beer can.
Yeah. Does hunt.
He does hunt. He's a hunting boy.
Counterpoint. or additional point, doesn't know how to cook.
Okay. No.
Is he just one of those Republicans and is quiet about it?
Yeah.
Honest to God, folks, I don't know.
Is he an independent?
Is he an independent? I think that... I know that just sounded like I was repeating your question. I think that might be
No,
the answer.
I heard you have a breakthrough. Like a eureka moment.
I think that might be it. I think... Here's my headcanon. I think that he had Republican parents.
Yeah.
I think because of the fact that he married someone that feels aggressively liberal.
Yeah.
My final answer is he's an independent.
Yeah. I'm somewhere between independent and libertarian. Because I think, like, I look at Charlie and I'm like, I love you, but I think, like, you definitely did vote for Gary Johnson. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Listen, we don't love this information, but it is what we have.
Again, what the text says
Right.
isn't always what I have to believe,
Right.
but it is what the text
If we've learned
says.
nothing from this podcast, it's that fuck the text and what the text says.
Right.
Because
I
usually
agree.
it's garbage.
Right.
So,
I agree.
Thank you for that head puzzle.
All right. So, last week, when we were reading this mess of a text that is
Yes.
Hidden Bodies, this book makes me so unhappy is the problem.
Yeah, like truly upset.
Yes, this book makes me feel... this book makes me feel like a soggy onion ring.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, but
It's just
how I feel.
It is... yeah, but it is the first thing that came to my head, so I am going to lean into it.
Yeah. First rule improv, baby.
Stop. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. All right. So last week when we were reading this awful text, Joseph was on his way to Crystalia's house, which in the book they say it's Henderson. Let's be honest, it's Crystalia.
Yeah.
With his coworker who is supposed to be 40, but I'm having a difficult time believing that it's 40.
Yeah.
And his bad friends.
His gaggle of dudes.
His clown car of fuckboys. Yeah. And then they watch Crystalia do a set in front of all of his pals.
Yeah.
You know,
and
like
Joe got upset because he was like, oh, my girlfriend Amy says that her last boyfriend sucked at sex. And Joe was like, I'm gonna kill him.
That's true. He did get his feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Because Joseph can't take a joke, am I right?
Fucking snowflake, am I right?
Oh my god. Joseph probably replies to people on Twitter using that, but then he actually is that.
Yeah. He's a soft boy.
How does that make you feel, Joseph? How does that make you feel, Joseph? And then when we left off, like the very last bit, he had ground up Percocets into Crystalia's, I'm just going to say Henderson, just so that no one sues me.
Right.
Into Henderson's Hydro Flask, left it on his bedside table, and then I didn't realize this when we were reading last week, but apparently he snuck into his closet. I didn't understand that part.
Yeah, I think I missed that too.
Yeah, because apparently I had to go back into the last chapter.
Yeah.
And find this, because it said, I take his box into his walk-in, live-in fucking closet. And then he, like,
and
stayed
just
there.
Perch.
Yeah. So, chapter 13 starts off. Apparently, he just hides in this closet for hours.
Yeah, the party is still happening.
Right. He just waits. Doesn't, like, go to the bathroom or anything.
Well,
he just waits, which honestly
before.
for the best. Yeah, I guess he did learn from his mistakes. Especially because, as we will find out later on, Joseph is quite bad at actually, like, flushing. So it might actually be for the best. So Joseph waits, and he waits, and then finally, the party ends, and I keep wanting to say Crystalia. Henderson walks upstairs. Now that I actually know how to pronounce his name, I just want to keep saying it over and over again.
Just rolls off the tongue.
I honestly had to, like, watch a pronunciation of it. Because every week you say it, and I'm like, yes, I'll remember. And then every week after we finish recording it, it just leaves my ears and it's gone. All right. The party ends. Henderson, like a true guy's guy, puts all of his blinds down, plays a little Seth Meyers, has a bowl of cereal, and heads upstairs.
Celebrities, they're just like us.
They're just like us, folks. I don't know what to tell you.
We've all been there. Had a little nighttime cereal with some Seth Meyers. Come on.
Sometimes you just gotta have cereal to soak up all the alcohol, you know?
Listen.
But, you know, sometimes you just don't have alcohol instead and you just want nighttime cereal. You know? My favorite part of all of this is the fact that Henderson has a very intricate skincare routine.
It's beautiful.
I love that.
We stand a self-care skincare king.
Yep. Yeah, so I love that. And then he goes to bed after having a little bit of sleeping pills and a little bit of Xanax, topped off with his water that was spiked with a lot of Percocet.
So this guy's fucked.
Oh, and then I'm sorry. He did also masturbate and then went to sleep. So again, celebrities, they're just like us.
They're just like us.
Yeah. And then things get, like, really fucked up.
Yeah. Like, bad fucked up.
Yeah, because I thought that the confrontation between Henderson and Joseph in the TV show was pretty fucked.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah, this is, like, full, like, unhinged Joe, like, angry really, like, weird, torturing, like, has an agenda situation. Like, it's very gruesome, and, like, he's like, you know, beating the shit out of him, and he's, like, looking through his phone, and it's like, let me rattle off every woman in this phone. It's like, what's your personal relationship with? And he's like, I don't know, man, I fuck a lot of women. And he's like, tell me! Tell me how you know them.
Which, to be fair, Henderson is an asshole.
Oh, yes.
Full stop.
Bad guy.
However, if Joseph had me tied up like he did to Crystalia, and he went through my phone, which the contacts I haven't updated since I first got a phone in 7th grade.
I haven't deleted a phone number in a decade.
I honest to God, I don't know that I've intentionally deleted maybe, I think I could count on on one hand how many phone numbers I've ever deleted from my contacts.
Insane.
I have phone numbers in here from middle school. So I think I'm just going to type bar in here. Yeah. So if Joseph at gunpoint asked me who Brenda Pretty Face Bar was, I could not tell you, Joseph. Like,
yeah, it's a hard test.
There's one in here that just says Elise and just has a smiley face next to it. Like, I don't know, Joseph. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't think it's fair to go through someone's contacts knowing how little people actually, like, delete contacts. Oh, my gosh. So, I think that's mean.
I think it's rude.
I think it's mean. Rude.
Meanwhile, crooning softly in the background is the Jersey Boys cast recording on Crystalia's iPod.
This part really fucked me up.
And it's not really even like it's not even like referenced once as like a little offhand, like that's weird. He thinks he's a cool guy and he like listens to Jersey Boys. It is referenced so many times. Like once a page he's like, man, fucking Frankie Valli is just crooning his heart out while I'm beating the shit out of Crystalia. It's like, what?
So much so that after, spoiler, like just like the fucking TV show, he kills Henderson. He goes out and downloads Jersey Boys.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna open up my iTunes. I'm gonna buy the fucking MP3s for Jersey Boys, and that's gonna be my thing now. With these cool new headphones I just stole from this guy I just murdered. Very smart move, by the way, Joseph. Thank you. Doing great.
Good work.
You're doing good.
I will say, compared to the TV show version of this confrontation lasted quite a long time throughout this chapter.
Yeah, for sure.
And I found it really anticlimactic.
Yeah, because, like, the whole thing is that Joe is super upset because Crystalia was, like, bragging about fucking Amy in front of all these people. And she was like, oh, Joe's bad at sex, and he's like, fuck, you have to die for that, because that was embarrassing. To me, specifically. And, like, when they actually have this fight, Chris is like, yeah, I wrote jokes. Like, those are not my real-life experiences. I met Amy. My job. I wrote jokes about having a relationship because that's how I get people to watch my show. Like, that's the whole thing. And then Joe's like, fuck you, dude. I can't believe you lied to people for your job. And he's like, yeah, I guess. And he's like, cool, I guess you're gonna die for that. Because I'm Joe, and I really staked a lot in this decision that you fucked Amy. And it turns out you didn't, but I'm already so far into this, and I have to kill you, otherwise you will do something bad to me. So I guess I'm just gonna do it.
My favorite part of this whole thing is Joseph cannot comprehend that comics lie.
Yeah, he's so betrayed.
that comics fib, or that comics just take a story and then twist it to make it funny, like writers do, or that like people do in stories.
You're telling me comedians aren't people that just have very insane lives and then speak about it in microphones?
And so Joseph is staring at Henderson and is like, you just pointed at her the other night on that stand-up. You just said, hi, Amy. Henderson's like, it's a TV show. I pointed at a plant. And Joseph is like, well, fuck, dude. I can't get out of this.
Yeah,
so.
I already started the whole thing, you know? I can't really, like, you already got a lot of drugs in your system. So it's a little too late. We're going to take that back. I hope you forgive me when you're dead.
Yeah. So he goes through all this work to find out his, like, maid, tells his maid, like, you've got the day off, and then pushes Henderson so much that we find out the actual story, which is that he met Amy at a bar, and, like, she was wearing a shirt from USC, just this, like, comedy thing.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking about, like, the best sex she ever had was from her ex about blueberries. And Henderson, of course, had to turn that around to talk about him so that it was actually funny for his routine.
Right.
But Joseph was like, wait, she was talking about me? Fuck this girl. I'm gonna kill her anyway. And he's still set on, like, pushing Henderson to go through all of these Amy's, which, to be fair, like, he had a lot of Amy's in his phone.
It's true. There's a lot.
There was, like, 11 Amy's. It was a lot. And then he just ends up killing him. It was in a very, like, rude way. And, like, there's not a nice way to kill someone, but it was nasty.
Yeah, pretty rude way to do it.
It was pretty rude. I don't know, like, thinking back to it, like, it was, because it was something, like, he tied, like, a plastic bag or something around his head, and then went to the bathroom so that he could write down all of his skincare products because he wanted to use them afterwards.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, Joseph, this is completely uncharacteristic to the guy who had a cage to make himself feel powerful.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Who is this dude? Who are you? So, very weird. Do you want to talk about the sudden switch to CSI, Joseph, though? Because that really kind of, like, shook me a little bit. He's
like, all right, how do I make it so that it's not me who did the crime when they're picking up DNA and shit? And he's like, you know what has a lot of DNA just festering? A bowl of M&Ms at a party. What if I just fucking do my thing with these and no one can trace it?
Yeah, because of course, sure.
Who have you? I'm never gonna look at a bowl of candy. Like, I know that's the truth. Like, I know everyone's fucking paws are in it or whatever. But, like, I don't think that when I get a handful of fucking M&Ms.
Yeah. The things that he chose to make up this sex party was a lot.
Yes.
The cups, the sweaters.
Yeah.
Sure. The wine. Sure.
Yes.
The M&Ms. Like, Joseph, I get that you've just had a partner that really liked to bring food into the bed.
Right.
M&Ms, I don't know that I would consider the most sexual. So, okay. Like, but sure. And again, folks, please remember, Jersey Boy soundtrack still going on.
It's on repeat. It is just blasting.
Yep. And during this time, like one of the last things that he does is he takes like a couple of his t-shirts and stuff, takes his headphones, and the last thing that he does is he sends a tweet from Henderson's account. It's like just a fucking bubble. So that people can like really think about it and analyze it.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. He goes on about how everyone is gonna psychoanalyze this and mourn him from his death. Which okay, sure.
I guess. Really says a lot about society. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, Joseph is really convinced that, like, we live in a society. And still is sure that he's gonna kill Amy after this. And the chapter ends with him almost getting back to his apartment. Like, is crossing the street, like, right next to his apartment complex, and then a fucking cop pulls him over.
Wee wee.
Yep, I'm the police. And so, just like it did in the television show, chapter 14 starts, and we see the cop. I don't know that this is supposed to be, I don't know. The way that they describe this cop, it doesn't sound like Delilah's cop.
Yeah. Officer Robin Fincher.
He sounds far more like a dick in this one than in the television show,
right? Which
I guess is for the best, because this guy is a racist and an asshole.
There's some bad stuff, y'all.
He says some really inappropriate things.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing, as with I can't remember in the TV show if it was about jaywalking or not. But
I don't know. It was, so Joe was leaving and like had a trash bag full of all his shit, right?
That's right.
And it was late at night, and like I think there were like reports of the death already like happening, and so he was like, the cop was out there being like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" With the fucking.
That's fair.
And then he got the headphones. He's like, "Thanks, bud," and like all that stuff. Yeah, but I don't think he ever got a ticket or anything. He's like, "I'm watching you, bud."
Sounds like the fucking that's a very off-brand joke, but I was thinking about the fucking woman monster from Monsters Inc.
Oh my god.
I don't know why that just popped into my head. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, in this one though, at least Joe had the foresight to bring a tote bag, I guess, instead of a garbage bag.
Yeah, well, he brought a tote bag, an open tote bag full of fucking murder weapons.
Yeah, it wasn't his best idea, but
it is an improvement.
Better than,
for sure.
Better than a garbage bag.
Idiot.
I guess. But the cop is like, first of all, even though it's 5 a.m., use the sidewalk. Like, please don't jaywalk, sir. I mean, he doesn't say it that nice because this cop is an asshole.
Yeah.
And then he's giving him a whole bunch of shit about being from New York and not having changed his ID yet. And he takes the headphones, and now Joseph has to pay a $375 ticket for jaywalking, which, like, dude. What the hell? Why? Which is ridiculous. So, yikes. And you would think, like, that in and of itself is a lot.
Yes.
But Joseph, like, just gets back to his apartment, showers, all that stuff. But he cannot even relax because of the fact that Delilah comes in and is freaking out. And Joseph's like, oh God. Like,
I have to console a woman. Ugh.
I don't really have the emotional energy for this. And he thinks it's because he missed their date last night. But of course it's not. It's because of Henderson dying. And the only thing that can console her right now is she wants to have sex.
Yeah.
So he goes upstairs and has sex with her. And this Delilah is a mess.
For real. She deserves better. She needs to know
She
her
does.
worth.
Because
she does not.
She doesn't. And she's like talking during sex about like her mom is coming next week and really wants to meet him. And it's like, oh, you really don't want to do that.
No. No.
One of the wildest things I think about this chapter is that Joseph, during the peak of this sexual encounter, is trying to get Delilah to climax. And he pulls her hair and, quote, tries not to notice the High School Musical promotional plates on her kitchen counter.
Now. What? What?
Listen, Delilah, we've all been there, okay? Listen. Everybody's had those days, okay?
Has everyone?
Listen.
Has one particular person in this chat had one of those days?
Listen, you know... But here's the thing, because fuck Joseph, you know, like, he says, I can do dinner, I'll go to with your family, like, we'll hang out, it'll be great.
Yeah.
And Joseph, being the worst possible like, I hate this man, but I didn't think that I could hate him more.
Yeah.
Until after having sex with Delilah, goes into what is essentially just his bathroom, right? Because it's a carbon copy of his apartment.
Yeah.
Goes into that bathroom, poops, doesn't flush.
War criminal. This man is a war criminal.
Leaves. Apparently without saying goodbye.
Ah.
And then Caroline actually wrote this. It says an hour later, Delilah texted Joseph saying, no woman would actually say this, I love that my bathroom still smells like you. Literally no.
I'm so upset. My eyes had to, like, ingest this.
I have to
get
that.
new corneas now. I have to just burn my fucking eyes.
I just don't understand why.
Like, oh, babe, oh my gosh, I had such a great time last night. Thank you so much for coming over. Thank you for leaving your fucking excrement in my house. In my
I would have texted him and been like, come scoop your poo and put it in your own toilet. Like, why?
Oh my god, if we had fucking badass TV landlord Delilah, she would have been like, hey, fuckhead, come back in here and with your hands fish your fucking poop out of my toilet and never talk to me again.
I just don't understand, like, what possesses a man? I don't understand. I hate him.
How could you poop and never flush? How?
I don't, it's making me so physically uncomfortable.
Hey, just the fact that he's comfortable to poop in another person's home, that's brave.
Literally.
That's brave, and that's admirable for sure. With that, being so brave as to poop in someone else's home and not flush, no hand washing, and then leave. What?
Without saying a word.
Excuse me? Who raised you? We know that, actually. That's probably explains a lot. But, like, come on. What? Do you do this to every place you go to? Like, every bar?
I make him pay my rent.
Yeah. This is emotional labor. I need you to, like, I'm gonna invoice you. Because I just had to think about your sitting, fermenting poop that you left in my toilet.
I'd send a Venmo request for my whole fucking rent payment.
Absolutely.
There's no way.
Time's up. Okay.
Anyway, then he has, I hate this man. Then he has the audacity after this to be like, oh, I'm sick.
Right.
And Delilah because she's a great person, but she's really awful.
The bar is so low.
Leaves a care package for him of kale soup, which, like, what is that?
I just got you some wet lettuce.
Wet lettuce and water broth. Like, what? It's just kale tea. The newspaper and emergency. Just one pack of emergency. But Joseph hates himself, and so he's like, I don't want that to get better. I want pizza. And so he orders a large pepperoni. He doesn't say pizza. He just says a large pepperoni. I'm assuming it's pizza.
I want the biggest pepperoni you got.
But it comes late, and it comes cold, and it comes dry, and it comes overpriced, which tells me that he did just order a pepperoni and not, like, a pizza. But it comes all fucked up. And the delivery person is wearing a R.I.P. Henderson t-shirt.
Rip.
Even though it's been, like, 12 hours.
You're right, like 40 minutes.
And Joseph is just, like, all sad and suffering because he's killed someone famous and no one is giving him credit for it, which is like, oh, God, Joseph. And the end of this chapter is that he says, am I right or am I right? And no one's there to answer the question, and so he has a panic attack about it.
Yeah. Love it.
And so that's where we're at.
Yeah.
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 And so next week we're at chapters 15 and 16, and I swan to John, if we don't meet love, I'm not reading this book anymore. I just don't understand.
Yeah. It's been so long.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I miss her.
Yeah.
You know?
I miss her stress baking.
I agree. I miss her freaking out on people.
Yeah.
But at least until then, we have our patrons to comfort us.
Oh, thank God.
Thank goodness. We have so many of those lovely people to thank. And to thank them this week, we have from thethings.com.
Oh, we're back, baby.
We're back.
Back on our bullshit.
15 not so normal things Robert Pattinson has said in interviews.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so excited. Okay, to start off this week, thank you to Rebecca Cullen,
Pew, 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 pew.
who's gonna be number 9. Which is a photo that's a mood. I liked stealing things a lot. You can definitely get high off it.
Yeah. This photo they chose, too, is extremely good.
Exactly.
Very good. Shout out to Elizabeth Swan.
Pew, pew, pew.
Who's gonna be number 10. Chicken Run is the only thing coming into my head.
Oh, I feel that.
This is in reference to think of his favorite chick flick.
Oh.
And he came up with Chicken Run.
All right.
God bless him.
God bless him. Shout out to Amy Taylor,
Pew, 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 pew.
who's going to be number 13.
Ooh.
I see the world a lot of the time and don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Absolutely, Robert. Absolutely. Shout out to Mulch Gray.
Pew, pew, pew.
Who's gonna be... Ooh, I think I'm gonna come for your brand with this one. Number 3. I think Edward basically is Nosferatu, but at the same time, he still cares about, like, doing his hair and stuff.
He understands me. He understands me.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Kelly Beck.
Pew, 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 pew.
Who's going to be number 2. I ended up eating a fish that had an incredibly tiny body and an enormous skull.
Yeah.
Same.
Shout out to Taylor Brown Town. Lautner
Yes.
is gonna be number 6.
Yes.
I was called my rap name, Big Tub. The full name of this group was Big Tub and the Tabby Cats.
I love that.
Now, why was he not invited to be in Cats 2019?
Oh my god.
Just let you think on that. Just let you think on it, you know?
My favorite thing about this in the explanation is that he says, he then explained, unprompted, that his rap was in fact Big Tub.
That's the theme with all of these. It's just nobody actually asks him weird questions. These are just all of his thoughts all the time.
Yeah, I love that. All right, shout out to Aaron Salinger.
Woo!
Who's gonna be number 5.
Yes.
I think there's a ballerina inside me.
Ugh, classic. Classic.
Such good work.
With J-Lo? Come on.
Come on.
Never forget. Shout out Sophia Salinger. It's gonna be my favorite and most haunting of the quotes. I smell like a crayon. Never forget that Robert Pattinson smells like a crayon.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing like smelling like a crayon. Just that fucking embalmed, waxy nature, you know?
You know?
You know?
You know?
Oh, God. Fucking Robert, like, why? Why do you do this? All right, I have a fan fiction for you today.
Hell yeah.
It is titled Jasper's Weak Spot, which I chose because of the fact that we were all about Jackson this week.
Pew, pew, pew.
This is by Magi Flower, and it was last updated on February 20th of 2012.
Nice.
It is a 17-part story, and I'm going to read them all for you now.
Oh, no.
The summary of this is, when the Cullens get invited to Denali by Tanya, weird things start to occur. And this is a little bit from chapter 1,
Ew.
when they are on their way to Denali.
Nice.
And it is in Jasper's POV. Alright. Edward, I asked in my mind, knowing he would hear me. Edward's eyes searched my face until finding my eyes, a sign he'd heard me. Can I talk to you about something when we arrive? His eyes darted to the ceiling before meeting mine again. A clear yes from him. The rest of the journey on the plane went agonizingly slow. Even with the private jet Carlyle had hired and the abnormal speed he used to fly it, it still lasted long. Finally, I breathed in Alice's hair when I heard the small thud, signaling the plane had hit the ground. Alaska! Emmett shouted, pressing his palms in Edward's and mine's faces and running through the exit, landing on the snow. Yes, you read that correctly. He ran through the exit, taking the door with him. Rosalie shrugged and walked after Emmett, rolling her eyes. That's going to be a nice bill, Edward said, looking at the messed up exit. How the heck are we going to explain this when we return the jet, I asked, looking at Carlyle. He raised an eyebrow. We'll think of something. Now let's enjoy the snow, he said, and jumped after Emmett. What's wrong with him? I asked, raising an eyebrow. Edward and Bella shrugged and went out too, Nessie safely in Bella's arms. What is with everyone's reaction to snow? I asked, looking at Alice for support. It's just so enjoyable, Jazz, she giggled, hooking arms with Esme. Let's go too. What are you waiting for, Jazzy Poo? Emmett teased, throwing a snowball in my face. End scene.
Damn.
You ever just get so excited about snow that you break a jet?
You know, I could get there.
You know? I can't relate, but that's mainly because my relationship with snow and ice is dangerous.
Yeah, an antagonistic relationship from the ice's side.
Less love, more hate,
Yeah,
I would say.
for sure.
But, you know. Well, as we say in Los Angeles...
Ooh, get bit!
I get whipped.
Ooh.
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 This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrausFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.